Here we go, part two, the full lengths and some extra. Last or previous video was the not on vinyl, the runner-ups that were behind me. I have now the EPs, the demos and the splits, which we also did. This was going to be one of my top records of the year, Grief or Graf with Norda Rickets Strit, Mysticism Productions, Zwarte Autos. Yeah, incredible record, but it was from 2019 and I wasn't going to cheat, I told myself. We are drinking Decadent and Dutch, Decadent and Belgian. This is a stroopwafel barley wine-ish from Molen. It's like liquid candy, but or liquid waffles, but yeah. Cheers to you all. So yeah, we are going to dive into the full lengths. 20. I kept it to 20. These are the EPs if you're interested in that. Check out the previous video. Before we dive in, I thought to myself, let's highlight some records that couldn't make it into the top 20 because they are compilations or older material or demo material from way past. So about 8 records that I wanted to highlight or show. The first one is the Black Death. The Until We Rock, the lost recordings of Black Death on Weird War. This is Weird War 14. A record label, Art Space, movie night organizer, Jesus Christ, and label from Portland. We did this Black Death release. Cleveland, Ohio's Black Death is widely hailed as one of the first African-American heavy metal bands. Frontman Sissy Spacek. I think a lot of people are aware or know this, but this is a great compilation from Weird War, which showed up in the last video with Impure. So yeah, hails to Dennis. They had a great year. They released the Darkthrone figurine. Maybe I said it in the previous video, but I'm not sure. 2 records from, there we go, Werewolf Records. The first one, these are both, I'm sorry for that. These are both Mexican bands that, these records are from the early 90s, mid 90s, 93, 94. Both Mexican bands that, released forgotten records, if you will, but for most of us, I bet a lot of people still know these. But when I bought the sarcophagus of Eric Mennen this year, I looked into the South American scene a bit more and to see what was there, because I know the top bands, but I don't know everything. This is of Zia with the Dark Emperors, and this is a 12-inch and bonus 7-inch, re-released by Werewolf Records. Made a joke, Demo Gorgon and Gorgon, so you know, one's the demo, one is the full length. But yeah, it's cool to see some of these releases get re-released. I think these were CD only, maybe at the time. When I spoke about these records when they first came in, I said the gaze fell a bit off of Werewolf Records, but through the reintroduction or looking into that scene or that time period, my eye fell back on them, and lo and behold, they had 2 records that interested me. This one is Harborum with The Sun Has Fallen. Same kind of deal, forgotten records by many, I guess. The first one was black. This is a bluish, blue-black marble. Both really good records, interesting sounds. Yeah, nothing more to say, but glad to finally pick this up or delve into that scene. Then a record I have been waiting for a while. Great vocals. The Blood Incantation Spectral Voice, and then the Spectral Voice demo compilation that Extremely Rotten did. It finally came out, it finally was repressed. This is a 12-inch with a bonus 7-inch, and then this is just the 7-inch. But yeah, great package all around on a great label. They had a great year too. Like I said, a bit more death metal. Then Nimbifig on Vendetta Records, a demo compilation, demo 1 and 2. The tapes were unfindable for a while, but yeah, Vendetta was nice enough to put it on a nifty looking record, great artwork, the man with the sword, really good stuff, and the tapes were impossible to find. Then, what also was impossible to find or to pay for were these the Svartrit, Sir N, also Business Productions. The re-releases on Amor Fati, 1, 2, and 3. A bit different covers, but very happy to finally have decent collection. I don't need originals off of this material, but it's just nice to have some affordable material. They all came on this, I'm not sure pressing wise how many, but they all came on this Og's Blood Maroon Black Marble, which, you know, looked cool. And then two of one of my favorite labels, one that absolutely does packaging the right way, and records too for that matter, but do a lot of re-releases. This is Beherit with The Oath of Black Blood, of course, the classic from '91. Finally re-released in full with reworked packaging. They have the turbo label, Nuclear War now. This is the picture disc. There was also a 180-gram black vinyl version, but yeah. Enter the Satanic Baphometal Temple. It says here the 1990 classic of Finnish Bastille black metal. I always thought it was 91, but Itsuki will probably do his homework, I guess. And then the last one, and this may be the most gorgeous pressing of the year in my opinion, but it's not a full length, it's a demo compilation. Lurker of Chalice with Tellurian Slaked Furnace, the Die Hard package from Nuclear War now. Came with this full leather sleeve embossed with the bronze gold print. Came with this massive back patch, also full leather with the embossing. And then the sleeve is equally as magical. Lurker of Chalice, of course, this rest from Leviathans. Different, beautiful golden foil stamped back to with this track listing. And then the inside has Dürer wood block printing, but then with, you know, spot gloss printed all over the thing. So one of the more nicer pressings of the year. Really cool and a good record. So, into the full lengths. Cheers, guys. I'm doing tapes first. No particular order, just the last 5 maybe is like top 5. One that I've listened to a whole lot. I have not listened to one hardcore record in the entire year, I think, except for this one. Drain with California Cursed. It is not the best record ever, but is just a very fun record, and like I stated in the previous video, it was all about fun this year, I guess. And Revelation Records, I think they're from the West Coast. It feels very West Coast, you know, California Cursed. But great, they played one of the last live shows they did was at that skate park. It looked incredible. I got hyped to this through, I don't know who told me about them, but yeah, Drain, very good. Then, Internal Rot, Grieving Birds. Yeah, it is insanity on a tape. It's the drummer from, I forget, we'll dig it up in the next few records. But yeah, very cool tape. Once again, on Headsplit Records, they show up a bit. It is one of my new favorite labels for this year. Really cool. Yeah, grinding, crushing, dead, you know, really well played, but it has tracks for days. There you go. Always loved the cover. I thought it was Scarlett Johansson, but I'm not sure now. I don't think so. Love the layout on that tape too. But yeah, really good. And one that gets played regularly. You have to be in the mood. I have to be in the mood for it, but you know, it is very good. Then 2 Maggot Stomp releases. I thought there would be more in here, but you know, Fluids. It took the top, or one of the top spots. Ignorance, Exalted. I maybe prefer the first one a bit more, but this is, I think it's a bit more fleshed out and a, yeah, just a full. When the other is maybe considered more of an EP, or you know, they're both fulls, but you know, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tracks, something like that. One is in brackets, so I'm not sure. Yeah. Very, if putrid, could be a word. This is the word. They always get compared to Mortician. I think they are something of their own. They're the samples. They are known for their samples. This one is a bit more relaxed sample-wise than the previous one. But yeah, I love the cop intro for this one for Extorted. Really good stuff. Thinking about picking it up on vinyl and then getting rid of the tapes because the previous tape, blue one, is unfindable. Then the one that topped Fluids for me is Command with Terrorscape. I think this is the best Maggot Stomp did this year, maybe for me. It is more hardcore inspired. That could be a preconceived notion because I know these are guys from Hoax and stuff like that. So yeah, really, really good full length on Maggot Stomp after 2 demos, self-release, and then a compilation tape. You know, I have Terrorscape, really good one. That's it for the tapes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tapes. That means 16 records to go. How are we doing on time? Very good, thank you. One that crept up in the top 20. This came in on the last Mesaka on Oil. This is a Gorephilia with In the Eye of Nothing. Finnish band with, they have quite a large discography. I just know this one and then the split with Unigang. Yeah, it is a bit of a clean sound, but every time I spin it, it keeps growing on me, and I discover some new stuff. Lyric sheets comes with a great picture there. Inspired a bit by the early Finnish sound, but it's not as gritty, or I don't know how to explain it. I love it. I showed it, or I sent it to the most critical people I know, and that's Thomas and Jens, and even they liked it. So the Wolven Zullen Huilen crew gave it a thumbs up. So Gorephilia, like it a lot. Then one that couldn't be missing, Molasses Through the Hollow. Yeah, it is Devil's Blood, but it's not Devil's Blood, if you know what I mean. This is the Van Records, the pink and purple, maroon, if you will. Very good record, but it's a lot to get into. The EP was easier to, logically, because it has less tracks than this one, but very good tracks on here. I knew a few tracks from the digital listen. It is a good record. It will never be the Devil's Blood, but still, Molasses had to be in there. Let's see what's next. Oh yeah, here the internal rot. I just mentioned the drummer is in Faceless Burial. This is their 3rd full length, and it's Speciation. It's kind of hard word to pronounce. It is a bit more. It's very technical, but not just to be technical. It's just technical because they are very good players. There is a lot on this record to like, there's a lot to love, and there's a lot to discover. It came in recently. I listened to it a lot on digital platforms like Spotify, just because I fell in love with the first record. I never heard the second record for some reason, but yeah, shit happens. It comes with this nice lyric sheet insert, and I thought it was a Seagrave cover, but it is apparently not. I looked it up. Yeah. Band on the backside. The quality on these releases is insane. Really good. Had to wait a while for this, but worth it. And like I said, this came off the wall for Bordas Rope. I just switched it out. This is the Seafoam Blue version, 2nd printing. Yeah, really nice record, and one that will be spinning a lot in the coming months. Then Macabre Omen with Jesus Christ. Anamnesis. There you go. The 180 gram blue vinyl, one of the better pressings color wise, and it's 180 gram. Greek band with a few full lengths under their arms. They are from Greece, or the main guy was from Greece, but emigrated to England, so it's basically an English band now. Really good pressing on Van, really nice, you know, just really nice. Gold foil, it's Van Records. So talked about this in the previous video. So blue, very nice records, very good. A lot of pulling from a lot of styles. There's a lot of highs and a lot of lows. Not low as in bad, but it does. There's a dynamic range in this record, and I really love it. I think all the records that are in here I listen to a lot, but have a lot of secrets to offer. They are not just basic records. So, yeah. Next one, Old Tower. We're making good progress with the last add-on. The only dungeon synth I bought, strictly because it's Skigereich. This is true profound lore, and once again, there's a lot of gold foil in this top 20. It seems Spectre with his rounding up of the trilogy. Very good looking records, actually, with a giant booklet that comes with it. So yeah, it is really nicely done. I need to find a different sleeve for it because it's ripped to shreds, I think, from being in the Babylon Doom Cult distro for so long, because I was looking to get this record for some time, but then it was too expensive and stuff. But yeah, now with the sale, it was the perfect time to get it. Next, and I think we're nearing the top 10, I guess. This is Moulin Banal with Demisère et d'Anglui. Sure, my French, it's horrible. Canadian records, very folk influenced, but very good. I got this around, I think, the start of the Christmas vacation, so I listened to it kind of all the way through. It is a bit short, in my opinion, just to get fully into. I think I said that the previous time too. Comte, Bergabi, Cavigny, Carrigon, and Traître Goulding are the ones behind it. Yeah. The guy from the label, which is it, Forbidden Sonority, is also in this band, it seems. And yeah, I think I'm not too... Yeah, I don't like folk influence too much, except for maybe something like Umfeld. But once you start hitting the flute too hard, I kind of drift off. But this, yeah, for some reason this hits the spot and is deserved in the top. The back is cool with the flag. I don't know if it showed. Love this flag. Not sure what it is. Something Canadian. Yeah, good record. Very good record. Then my most dismal sayer, I don't know what the title is. It has not a lot of info on this record. I think it's self-titled. I'm not sure. Weird that it's in my top and I don't know, but like I stated in the video when I first talked about it, I got the Natatala update for the Vanneberg vinyl, but I stayed, as they say, for the Seder. I have a few things by them, another record and a tape, but this is of different caliber. I mean, this is so dismal and bleak, and it is, yeah, it's a record I have to be in the mood for, but it's, it keeps popping back into my head that I have to listen to this, and yeah, it's worth it. Natatale had a great year once again, and this is, for me, their best record. Then, a banger, Boris with No. It took a while for it to creep up in the top 20. It was on the wall for a while, then I started listening to a lot of stuff, and then it just kept moving down, down, down. Their ode to 80s hardcore punk. This is the Japanese version with Obi and the red one on, what was it? Blood Soaked Records, I think. Blood Sucker Records. So yeah, vampires once again. Yeah, it's Boris in very short bursts of energy, hardcore focused. I mean, it's a hardcore record by Boris. Genesis, Antigone, No Blood Lord, Temple of Hatred, Zerkalo, HCHC, Perforation Line, which is a great track. Lust, Fundamental Error, Loveless, and Interlude. Still love these guys. They yeah, they keep surprising. It's not just drone wars or doom wars. Now it's hardcore wars. And I hope to see them live again with this set. Actually, that would be insane. Another hardcore record that kept popping up in my mind. Was this one or Geld was going to be in the top. I chose Gag, still laughing because it, you know, I played it to death. They had the face filter yesterday or the day before. Record's done. I'm gonna put on a tape. Sorry for this. We are listening to one of the what the fuck? The Maggot Stomp Unurement with self-immolation suites. Gag, still laughing. Yeah, I love all of their records. I love the Motorcycle, I love all the demos, I love the Banana records, and this is no exception. Rammel punk, hardcore, whatever you want to call it. This is a very good record by them once again. It is very short. I think it's 17 minutes. It's ridiculously short. And the last track is as ridiculous as the cover, actually. The last track is called Scorpion Sequence and is could be done by Varg, actually. It's not as good as, you know, Posh Isolation, but it is this weird techno track that just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, it is on, if it comes out, it is on a clear red. Prison Wife, Smoking Mat, London Fog, Future Scream, Taki Boomba, which is a cool track, and then Scorpion Sequence, which is the, yeah, the techno track, if you will. This is an itch to get back in. There you go. But yeah, Gag, always cool. I don't think I ever saw them live. I think I missed them in Antwerp once, but yeah, I'm starting to ache for some live shows. Gag, still laughing. Static Shock? Nope, Iron Lung. Great label. Then, one that I recently started listening to again, Ira with Luring in the Depths. Same cover as the Taylor Swift, is it? With her Folklore album. Yeah, I love the previous one, the Humanity, Hatred for Humanity or something like that. Absolutely raging record. This pulls it back a little bit on the rage, but this is a very honest black metal. You can hear him put his heart into it, and you can almost hear him playing the guitar. You can see where he. I mean, it's just such a good record. Such an honest, pure black metal record, and I love it. On Signal Rex, didn't get too many Signal Rex releases, but I have two. That was close. There is the promo photo for it. Put some things in there. Comes with a nice lyric sheet. Love the artwork on this. Just simple, clean, black and white, gray tone. Awesome. And like I said, it was in recent months that I started re-listening to this, because this came mid or early 2020. I'm not sure, but yeah, alright. Still a very good band in my opinion. And then a fun record, if you will, Eternal Champion with Ravening Iron. I am in love with their previous one. This one took a while to get, you know, into my ear, but it took a little bit longer than the other one. Skull Seeker was the first track that popped into my head. Now it's instant classic for me. It is Iron Age people that do heavy metal. But yeah, I love everything about it. Love this skull thing. It is just the black version, because all the color versions had a lot of extras that I have no interest in. Boophole. But yeah, Eternal Champion. Once again, band I want to see live and drink some beers with some of my friends. But yeah, very, very good records, and this will be played forever on some good nights here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is basically my top 5. The first one is this one, Fritevrak with Dominion of Terror. Out of the entire Bosnian scene, in my opinion, this is one of the most easy to listen to, easy to digest records, which is saying a lot actually, because they have some weird stuff going on with Obscurity and with all the bands. Boy Prayers maybe also very accessible. Vritavrak never was accessible. Their previous demos, their splits was always a bit, but you can hear the evolution. We talked about this record too in Grondwerk, so if you want to see the full review, if you will, check that out. A lot of heavy metal influences. Yeah, it just, I mean, it has parts that just straight up rock, in my opinion. It is a very good record from start to finish, and it kind of has a nice build. With the track, the A side is kind of the build up to God Ends Here, There It Starts, and then the Reconquering the Satan's Throne and Dominion of Terror are insane tracks. There's the back. And this list is about records that I actually listen to a lot, and I listen to this one a lot. Just like, that's why I put the EPs on, because these records I listen to more than the runner-ups that were up on the previous video. Maybe it's because they're shorter records and the attention span is there, but yeah. Number 4, if you will, Worm with Gloom Lords, Floridian death metal with a lot of influences from black metal, from Funeral Doom, from Doom. The guy behind this, Phantom Lore, I think, Phantom Slaughter, I'm sorry, and Equimontorn drum and bass. He did Kent's Death Metal Crypt interview. The influences this guy is bringing up is just a list of things to check out. So this is the Swamp Green first press on Iron Bonehead. Seems not a lot of Iron Bonehead records are in here this year, but you know, this one is in here. Very good record. I fell in love with the first Worm. This is just a great follow-up. This is a bit more him getting all his influences together and just putting it out here. Then, top 3. Val, Visioenen van het Verborgen Land. I was actually surprised that this was 2020 when I pulled it out. One of my favorite tracks of the year is on here, and it's called Dodus Hymen, the third track. Perfect integration of synths and black metal. This entire record is just in my heart. One of the most, once again, an accessible record for the entire Ski Reich, you know, camp, if you will. Very, very good record, and deserved number 3 spot. I listened to this, I don't know how many times, but yeah. Val, the picture, is there picture in here or not? Yes, this is one of the pictures. Spectre and Demsevolt, they always take the best promo pictures, in my humble opinion. And it got the black metal sticker stamp from New Era, so Jasper, New Era, cheers. And then shared number 1 spot, Black Curse and Unagang. I'll talk about Unagang first because Black Curse actually takes the top spot. Aldrich I Livet, it just came in, and I hear you thinking, why would you pick a record that just came out? But I've been listening to this ever since it came out. It was the perfect rollout for me. I started listening to Unagang, I got the the previous one, and then, you know, there was the EP with the Unfrivillig Donation of Vitale Organer, and I just started listening. This hasn't been off rotation. It is a weird, why it's in the second spot maybe is because the first 3 tracks and then they are not as good as the second part. They are not bad, but the record starts at 5 at the Unfrivillig. But the Menneskader is then the single that they rolled out, which has this that weird drum thing that I kind of like, but it's weird. And then, you know, the back end of this record is really heavy. Maybe that's, you know, a choice they made. But I have to listen to the first 3 tracks again just to see how they gel with the record. I showed this one. This is the, you know, slime green one. Very, very good record. And you know, I am nitpicking this one, but yeah, Dansk metal Unagang. And the top spots. This record hasn't left the new cabinet or the 2-listen cabinet. Black Curse with Endless Wounds. The promo tape came out on the Copenhagen Festival. That the name escapes me. I tried to get the promo because these are guys from Spectral Voice, Blood Incantation, Primitive Man. One of the guys of Gamis is in here, so it's a kind of an all-star lineup. This is a barrage of that black, everything in between the heaviness of Primitive Man in some parts, the technicality of something like Blood Incantation. Spectral Voice shines through here and there. It's the same drummer, so yeah, it is insane. I love the cover, I love the back cover, I love this entire record. So if there was a top spot, if something like that existed in my head and I had to choose, Black Curse would take it together with Unagang and Septage as the EP of the year. So yeah, a lot of Misaka. I guess that's where my head was, but this came out on Sepulchral Voice, which had, you know, a few good records this year. But yeah, Endless Wounds. There you go. Check it out. That's it. Top 20, 2020, done. Mike, 2020, 2020. Yeah, this was my top 20. If you have, don't drop your top 20, but do top 5 or so in the comments. I would love to discover some new shit that wasn't in my list. I'll type out the entire list for you to look at, but that's all I can do for now. Yeah, welcome to 2021, I guess, and welcome to the channel. If you're still with me this far, thank you very much. Once again, thank you for all the views, all the trades, all the gifts, the nice words, the comments, everything. I'll hope to see you next year, which is now. And that's about it. The next video will be the most anticipated, like usual. That's on the heels of this one, just records I'm going to talk about with another cell phone holding up to see what's coming out and what interests or what piqued my interest. But yeah, here we go. Cheers. I'm going to enjoy this stroopwafel beer and then hit the sack because it's getting quite late. Guys, girls, animals, we'll see each other again very soon. Peace.